welcome to our recap of Night 2 of the DNC Digital Party, or as we're calling it, the political webinar you probably slept through. But don't worry, I read the news so you don't have to. My name's Rafa Sparza, you're listening to Early Late Night, the podcast. The evening began with a million co-chairs all emphasizing the fairness of bylaws. You know, the sexy, must-see DNC kind of TV. The Democrats rolled out liberal dynasties like the Carters and the Kennedys, all seeming to brag about things that maybe even Joe Biden's short-term memory might have forgotten about. Hey, feel uneasy about Bill Clinton being there? Don't worry, you'll feel even better next week after you've reread the Epstein flight logs and hear the entire RNC talking about their guy. Of course, that's assuming Trump voters can actually read. AOC made an appearance that was shorter than the time it normally takes to reheat your leftovers, giving the most Latina-like form of shoutouts to all of her homies on the radio. But I want to say big ups to the opposite of racism and misogynies and mi tío Bernard. Then we got to the 57 state and regional roll call. Each state told you what their main beef with Donald Trump was. And I gotta admit, I kind of prefer the digital format a little bit better. Normally this runs like a bunch of drunk frat kids struggling to make coherent sentences at a prep rally. And admittedly, every person who stood silent in the background of the roll call displayed the subtlety of a hired member of Shredder's Foot Clan. But you know what? We got through it. Among the highlights, calamari, kids holding signs, Ohio fucking up shit as per usual. Mayor Pete filmed at an angle designed to make him look like he's tall enough to ride roller coasters. Look, this is nice and all, but it is stone silent. Can we maybe set this to the sounds of a jock jam next time? For example. Y'all ready for Biden? As an immigrant, I walk down lots of streets that oppress me. And one time, I walked so far, I forgot which way I was going. Then, when my cell phone died, I lost all hope. That's when Joe Biden pulled up in a 72 Buick and gave me a ride to my local library. Did I mention I'm a Samoan cisgender millionaire? But Joe Biden didn't see me for my color or demographically friendly aesthetic. But that's the kind of relatability we have come to expect from a man who also served as my Uber driver. That's how relatable he is. Did I say the word relatable enough? Minnesota cast 2 votes for Bernie Sanders because I promised him that in the Uber poll we shared. And 2 million illegal Democrats delegates, oops, is this live? To the he'll do future president Joe Biden. And then they made it official. Biden is your 2020 official designate to be kicked around by your uneducated aunts and uncles alike on Facebook. All set to the sounds of Kool and the Gang's Celebrate Good Times, because it's the fucking one song the Democrats have been awkwardly dancing to for the past 30 years. Then El Duderino showed up to tell us some truly sad shit about Joe Biden and healthcare, before we transition to another overhanded metaphor about running. That's right, Joe isn't the only one running here. The potential First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, loves her some marathon running. And in one of the more odd moments at a DNC convention in recent memory, there was a nice amount of emphasis placed on her punching a fellow classmate when she was a kid. And people were into it. She's feisty. Then it all came to a close with, surprise! Joe Biden coming over to greet his wife, awkwardly embracing her as if he's forgotten she's the one person it's acceptable for him to embrace intimately. And that concludes Night 2. Come back again for tomorrow's recap of all things debacle NC. Y'all ready for Biden?